That's it.
That's an unhinged Sesame Street that we need. And I'm really sorry to even talk about this, all right? Because I think people are generally a little over the Tiger King thing. And look, to be honest, I didn't even finish that show, so I'm not thirsting for it. But I will say this, like when this headline got to me, it was one of those things where like every now and then there's a story that puts an actor with a project that is so perfect that it almost proves like intelligent design and shit. Like I almost started to believe in God because I'm like, well, of course, that's incredible. And that happened today while I was prepping the show. This wasn't even going to be on the show. It got to me in the 11th hour. And I'm talking about Nicolas Cage, all right? Our greatest thespian, maybe. Being cast as Tiger King. He's being the Tiger King. He's being Joe Exotic himself.
Your new king is here. Tiger King. Somebody got me with this today because I looked at this on a small screen, and I'd be damned if they didn't get me. So I'll tell you real quick. Can anybody look at this picture? And Christian, you're welcome to play this too. What movie is this from? And don't say Tiger King. because that's what I thought. I thought, damn, is that real? So the moment this was announced, somebody already put out a picture of Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic, and people already got it. People talking about Con Air. That picture conned me pretty well. He got me. I was like, is that real? Oh my God, he's perfect. And it turns out that that's a Photoshop right there. If you couldn't tell by the fake face piercings and all that. But yeah, man. Nicolas Cage is going to be Joe Exotic. Right when people thought, and I'm going to pass this off to you because I want to play a clip right here. But right when people thought that, right when you were sick of this, man, right when you didn't want to talk about this anymore, right when everybody said, whether you liked it or not, I am over this, they got to throw something new in there.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Joe Exotic, and this is Sarge. Outspoken, good looking, love to party and have fun.
Everything that Nicolas Cage is. Actually, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, man, I went to New Orleans once, and there's a very famous cemetery there where like Mary Laveau is buried and shit like that. And then there's this just incredibly obnoxious, and I mean like the worst kind of obnoxious, kind of ziggurat thing in the middle of it. You know, it's a giant tomb that goes up. It's about 8 feet tall, and it had like a dolphin on it. And I'm like, what the is that? The person giving the thing or giving the tour was like, oh yeah, Nicolas Cage bought that for when he dies. He's already bought his burial plot, and it's the weirdest like gaudy Joe Exotic thing I've ever seen in my life. And that brings me to the point where I was like, has there ever been a better actor for a role in the history of the world? I feel like it's one of those no-brainer things.
This is perfect right here. Not even on an acting level, but just on a level of insanity that they're both on.
Well, that's the thing. I want to make sure people understand this. I think Nic Cage, given the right director and the right stuff to work with, is a really good actor. I mean, he's won an Academy Award. He's done a lot of films that I think have been, really well received and stuff like that. But he's also crazy, like certifiably crazy. This is what happens when you have money. They don't put you in mental institutions. If Nic Cage was like anybody else in LA who didn't have money, they would have institutionalized him or made him homeless years ago. Oh, this is purely the privilege of it all.
No, this is This is perfect casting on, like I said, the level of insanity. Now, I don't know if he's going to be able to capture. I don't know if Nic Cage is going to be able to capture Joe Exotic. We're definitely not going to get. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. You're definitely not going to get an exact mimicry of Joe Exotic. What was that woman's name? Carol. What was that? Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Carol Baskin.
Yeah. This is not going to be Tiger King. This is going to be Nic Cage's Tiger King.
But that sounds better because like Joe Exotic already sounded like a crazy fairy tale character, and now you're gonna have like it seems like the most meta project in the world.
That's the biggest thing with this, I think, is everybody's looking forward to and that's what people will actually be grateful for with this project. It's not going to be a retelling of Tiger King. It's not going to be somebody doing a shot-for-shot remake of Tiger King. It's not going to even be like James Franco doing The Disaster Artist with Tommy Wiseau. This is going to be Nicolas Cage's Tiger King, and it's going to be Nicolas Cage doing a version of a crazy gay redneck who's mad at this woman. It's going to be his voice. Carol Baskin is evil. You know, he's gonna be doing that kind of shit.
Well, I would also say this. He's been leaning into that shit recently in a couple movies. Like, I've really loved him in Mandy. Like, he was doing like this really subdued thing for the first 20, 30 minutes of that movie and then just became unhinged. If you look at like Wild at Heart or Leaving Las Vegas, like the crazier he gets to lean into, he generally does better. The thing I'm most excited about, though, is like, okay, Nic Cage and an interesting character. That does not make a good TV show. This is going to be 8 parts. And what I'm really excited about is that they got the guys who did American Vandal on Netflix, which I thought was so underrated as a show, because it was doing like this mockumentary thing in a fun way. And it was, of course, it was funny and silly, but it was also having something deep to say about kind of society. So you put that with a good, actor and a good subject. And I really feel like this becomes a must-see TV event, man.
Yeah, no, I seriously, this is going to add a whole new life to this Tiger King thing. Like I said, right when this shit it will not die. They will always find. That's how crazy this is. That they found somebody crazy to do it. This will not die. This is always gonna find some kind of new way to pump life in this for another couple of years. And I also want to put in there how people. I am so goddamn gullible. I am so now that we're talking about these two things right here, American Vandal and Tiger King. I told y'all today, I got with this Photoshop looking at it on my phone. I was like, oh my God, they've already started filming. That's a Photoshop from him in Con Air. And this thing, American Vandal, this is why I think that this is why you'll be getting something kind of different, where they'll be making almost a satire of these so-called real events. I saw American Vandal, and it's so well done where they make it look like, because this is what I love. I love when people do satire or they do mockumentaries and you cannot tell if they're serious or not. It took me almost a full episode to know if they were for real or not. It was an episode about shitting, and they had me hooked. I was like, oh my God, how come I've never heard of this? When did this happen? And I said, man, I got to research this.
911. All of our students, they're all pooping. People are just trying to find a place where they could shit.
I was like, oh my God, I gotta research this. Like, oh, you motherfuckers. I mean, it didn't take long for me to realize it was fake until I found out after I crossed a very long line of stupid. I should have known immediately. But these people are the perfect ones to do this, man, because they're not gonna do like some straight TV dramatization. You can already tell by looking at this that they're going to take a comical spin on this. And I think that's the only way that you could do this, man. You can't, because the documentary, this is what we were saying. Tiger King speaks for itself. Tiger King is like, what can you do that Tiger King on a insane level didn't do on his own?
If he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carol Baskin.
Bitch! That would be Nicolas Cage. Hater. This is this is going to be I think this is for the people. Here's the question, Christian. Please continue with the point that you were going to make before I went to this clip. The people that were completely sick of Tiger King, now that you've gone this level, another extra level of craziness by having Nicolas Cage in here, will it win those people over who are tired of this?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the risk you run, but I would say it's going to take a little bit to come out, which is half the battle. I think the bigger question is this, which is like, sometimes there are these stories that come out that are just simply stranger than fiction. Like, you did a docuseries already. You had the real subjects in there. The only way that they can do something different is to do what American Vandal did so well, which is to kind of come at it like Jaws on that poster. You got to come at it from underneath. You can't make him like some sympathetic kind of character like, oh, woe is Joe Exotic. I think you need to kind of look at him for what he is, which is an insane person who somehow was never told he was insane. How are they going to dramatize that and make that any more interesting?
Yeah. The only way to do it is just like, again, make some sort of, almost do a parody of what's going, because that's what American Vandal was. American Vandal was a parody of all these crime series out there. So if you make this a parody of something that's already almost silly, just Lampoon was already kind of crazy itself, then go ahead and I think that'll work. My question is, what would you do for other casting in this? Now that you got Nicolas Cage, he's kind of bumped it up on the casting level now. Like Carol Baskin, who would you hire or who would you cast to be her?
Oh God, man. Like it would have to be someone big, right? Because you want to do a high profile thing. The problem is like, who would you? Are you going to go with like a thespian? Or are you going to go with someone who's really, really kind of like bubbly and kind of fits the physicality? Someone said Melissa McCarthy, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Sure. You know what I mean? But again, it's just like the age group is what kind of throws me off in there, because the big secret that it's not really a secret in Hollywood is once you hit a certain age, it's hard to cast you in anything good. I mean, do you have anyone off the top of your head that you would put in there?
What, like as Carol Baskin?
Yeah,
Jack Black.
Just let him go right now.
What's his name? Galifianakis. He shaved.
Yeah,
his beard.
no, that's perfect, man. If we never acknowledge it, that would be amazing.
I'm not even just saying pull a man in there. I mean, pull a woman in there. Cast that dude. Put a dude in a wig. This is just a little aside, if you can bear with me for a moment, but she would be the perfect Carol Baskin. So this woman, apparently she came from a family with money, and she was like a 50-year-old woman who would talk like almost 60-year-old woman would talk like Marilyn Monroe. She dressed real sexy. She would come to the studio with her two twin brothers. How come I can't talk to them? Brothers who were Elvis impersonators, but they worked at NASA and they invented some kind of camera that NASA used.
That was a plot twist. I'm sorry. They worked at NASA.
Yeah, they worked at these two twin Elvis impersonators. Worked at NASA where they created this camera for them, and she would bring her mother down, and she would sing these songs in that breathy tone like Marilyn Monroe, and she would invite people to come down to the studio. So the studio would be full of all these strangers behind her while she was playing these crazy songs. Her brothers were back there doing these Elvis poses, and her mom, who seemed to just be lost, would just dance around all these weird people that she didn't even know. And that woman, if you met that woman is Carol Baskin to a T without the cat fetish. If somebody can find that clip if you don't have a sub already, if somebody can find that clip on the internet, on YouTube for us, of this woman, this crazy woman who I'm sure is still alive today. She used to hit on me all the time. She'd come in, do that thing. You're such a handsome black man. I couldn't just be a man. Oh, you're such a pretty Negro.
Oh God, yeah.
No, she didn't say that. She didn't say that.
Like attractiveness. She was thinking you about like field labor and shit, Corey. It got really dark really quickly.
Yeah, she was on some Mandingo shit, man. But if somebody can find that clip and put it up in there, some Ryan Walterson. Well, you already have a subscription, man. He found it. Can I show you this since Ryan has found it?
Yeah, of course, man. Let's do it.
I mean, do you mind?
No, not at all. Ryan Walterson did the work, and you're excited about it. And I need to see this. I mean, what you need to do is discover her and get 10% on that, man.
If that woman's still around,
that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not religious, but I would start a religion to that woman. What the was that? Oh my gosh, she's incredible. She's like a specimen, man.
Oh, a rare specimen, man. If they can get her and de-age her, man, do something like Robert Downey Jr. shit from Iron Man or Avengers, and put her in there, man.
Oh, is that her mom?
That's the mom, yeah.
That actually warms my heart, man, because her mom supports her, and her mom has to know she's not good, or she's brilliant, by the way. It's like that fine line between, sanity and insanity, but she's just a supportive mom being there for her.
They just keep mom injected with something, and she just doesn't know what the is happening.
Well, she looks like she's in the throes of dementia. She's just happy to be around people, but she does not know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You nailed it, man. Sadly, you probably nailed it right there. By the way, some people took one of my votes out there for casting here. I don't know why I immediately thought of Lisa Kudrow as her.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good pick for sure. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe Laura Linney. Laura Linney's getting to that age, and she's already blonde. Maybe she could do that.
Laura Linney would be perfect too, man. No, yeah. you hit it. No, that's great casting on your part. Yeah, people. Like I said, man, this is going to be, I think it's going to be great. You're not going to get a Joe Exotic impersonation. You're going to get Nicolas Cage doing what he does.
J-K-L-M-N-O-P-Q-R-S-T.
That's it.
That's an unhinged Sesame Street that we need.
This is Nicolas Cage's appearance on Sesame Street. Elmo, A, B, C, D, I got it, thank you. E, F, G, thank you, you scared me. No, L-O-N-O-P.
It's wonderful. With one of our greatest unsung treasures of acting, and I hope we all remember how amazing that guy is.
Yeah, man. No, this is going to be great, people. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to end with Nicolas Cage holding up a tiger head, a severed tiger head, wearing that tiger's skin.
He becomes the tiger.
I am your Tiger King. Here's your king right here. You know.
This is seriously, I can't think. I mean, especially maybe because we're bereft of like news and stuff like that for the most part. But this is the most exciting thing to break during the Corona, I think, and I just can't wait for shit. Because when is it going to go into production? Those are all those questions. I think it's going to be a little time before we see it, but I can't wait, man.
Yeah, I can't either.